Hello guys, this is Chetan Mehta from Skill Cubator, and in today's session we'll take a look at some of the very key concept in business analysis, which is the business process model. So the agenda for this session is to understand the concept, what exactly is a business process, what is the overall discipline of the business process, what we call the business process management. And then we'll take a look at some of the notations we need to use in order to model a process, and then we'll see where all you can use this concept in your day-to-day world as a business analyst. So the first thing what we will discuss is what is a business process. So as you can see here, the business process is a set of activities performed to accomplish an organizational goal. Now this is a definition, but let me give my own explanation of a process. So a business process is where you kind of conduct some work. It is an interlinked chain of activities which is done either by a human being or is done by a machine or a system, or it can be done in a combination of a human being and a system, right? So you take any example, any department, any organization you take, within the department you will have different activities going on. For example, processing a loan application or opening a new account, or it's as simple as you go online and you want to buy a product from Amazon. So these things don't happen just in one step. There are different steps involved. Different activities are done either by a human actor or by a system or a combination of both. And at the end of the process, you get a value out of that process. So for example, the first example we took, a loan application, either the loan is approved or rejected, right? Opening a new account, either it's accepted and a new account is opened, or for some reason it's not open. And the third example, Amazon, you go online, you buy a product, you get the product in a couple of days, right? So there are a bunch of activities that happens from the time you start or initiate the work till you achieve the value at the end. That's basically your business process. So every process will take an input, it will do a processing, and it will give an output. Same thing, each step in the process will take an input from the previous step, it will do a processing, and it will give an output. This output will be used as an input by the next step in the process. So some of the examples here is you want to reconcile your accounts, you want to process an order, you want to submit a payment, you want to process a check, or you want to buy a product online, or you want to buy a ticket from a website, right? All of these examples you can use the concept of business process management. Now let's come to the topic of business process management. What is BPM? And this is one of the most important concept for a business analyst, because we as a BA need to understand the client's current state and then the future state, right? So let me come back to that. So first of all, BPM is a way we try to understand the current process, whether it's across the enterprise or it's within a department or it's within a subunit of a department. We want to understand the process. That is what we call the current state or the as is state. Then you analyze it. As a BA, you need to analyze it. Where all you can improve the process. What are the pain points, bottlenecks in the process? Where are we wasting any value in the process? Any non-value added activities which is being done in the current state. All these things we need to identify, and then we need to come up with an improved version of the process. That is what we call the future state or the to be state. And once we design a new process, we need to manage and monitor the new process so that we can further refine it. It's a continuous improvement process. It's not a one-time activity. Continuously, we need to make sure that the process is improving, and we are trying to make the process as effective and as efficient we can. So the steps in BPM is, as I said, first understand the current state of the business process. That means you need to model the current state process. It's also known as a state. The second step is you analyze the current state process. Look for the pain points, the bottlenecks, the non-value added tasks or the activities which are being done in the process. Where all you can automate the process. So look for these kind of things, and from there you design the to be state or future state business process. And based on your future state process, you can either design a new system or you can enhance an existing system so that we can improve the way things are being done in an organization or within a department or within a unit of a department. So within the BPM domain or BPM discipline, creating a business process model is one aspect of it, and which is very key to perform all of these 4 steps. So now let's see some of the basic notations of a business process model. So these are some of the basic notations you will be using on a day-to-day basis when you are trying to model a process. This one is known as a pool. A pool is the one which is holding the whole process. Whatever the process you are trying to model, everything has to be designed or modeled within this pool. It's similar to a swimming pool which holds the water. Here we are holding a process. The process name will be written on the left top side corner of the page, and always it has to be a verb noun. So process payment or submit application or process application, whatever the name you want to give to the process, it has to be in a verb noun combination. Check inventory or check credit history. Within the pool, you have 2 different lanes. Each actor or each participant of the process will be given its own lane. So you may have multiple lanes. Minimum you need 1 lane, but you may have n number of lanes depending on how many participants you have in a process. So if I have like 4 participants in a process, I will have 4 different lanes, each one assign 1 lane. And you need to put exactly the same work which is being done by the participant in the same lane. So for example, if I have an actor here, customer, and if the customer is doing something, that something will be modeled here. I cannot put it in any other lane. So all the work which will be done by the customer lane, or sorry, the customer itself, must be modeled in the same lane. Same thing, let's suppose we have another participant who is a manager, and if he or she is doing any work as part of the process, everything has to be modeled in this lane. Right, so that's a pool which is holding the process, and then we have different lanes. which is being assigned to each participant of the process. Now, everything you need to model will be within this rectangle. The start event, what we call a start event, starts the process. So whenever you start a process, you need to use this. Whenever some work is being done by any participant of the process, you need to use this rectangle. So for example, the customer is filling out a form or making a payment, manager is reviewing the work or approving an application. Any work which is being done by any participant of the process, you need to use this notation. This is known as a gateway. Some people call it decision point. So whenever you have multiple outcomes based on some criteria, you need to use this gateway or a decision point. Some people also call it as diamond because it looks like a diamond, the shape I mean. But more technical word or better technical word is gateway. Use the right words when you are talking in an interview or when you're talking with your client or anyone. Don't use symbol or icons, use the term notation. It's very important. So this notation is a gateway. Basically, when you are trying to decide based on some criteria you have set in. So for example, I'm saying if I have item in stock, I will do step 1. If item is not in stock, I will do step 2. So whenever you have if, that is, if this is true, I will take one step or I will take one route. If this is true, I will take another route. Right? So you will have to use a gateway. The sequence flow is connecting the whole process. It is telling us where the control of the flow is going, where the control of the business process is going. And the arrow indicates the flow. That means if my arrow is pointing towards right side, that means the process is moving towards right side. If the arrow is on the left side, it shows that the control is going towards left side. And then when you want to end the process, you must use the end event. So just like when you start the process, you will use the start event. Similarly, when you end the process, you will need to use the end event. And this one is pretty useful notation. It is called annotation. So annotation is when you want to add some text, some notes to your process, you will use this. So this is like your own notes. You want to make something more clear. You want to add some verbiage. You want to add some more text so that someone who is reading your process model can understand or can get some more information from the process. So you can use this annotation symbol or notation. So that's all for today, guys. Thanks for watching this video, and for all your training needs, do call us back on 703-200-9921. Email ID is info@skillcubator.com and the website is www.skillcubator.com.